It's time to find out why DJ Studio really is like fitting a DJ console inside your laptop as we explore and start mixing music in the studio view. If you just created or opened a DJ Mix project, you might be there already. Otherwise, at the top of the screen, click the tab labeled Studio, and the first thing you'll see is all your songs laid out, alternating back and forth between two tracks labeled Deck 1 and Deck 2. This mimics how we DJ, mixing songs back and forth from one deck to another and then back again. Just note that the Deck 1 and 2 setup is specific to DJ Mix projects and it behaves differently in mashup projects, which we'll cover in a future video. Underneath Decks 1 and 2 are additional tracks called sample lanes. We can use these in a whole bunch of creative and exciting ways, which we'll explore in just a moment. Below our sample lanes is the tempo lane, which we saw as well over in the playlist view. This shows us the tempo throughout our mix and how each track's BPM causes it to change over time. Beneath the tempo lane, we have our toolbar where we can add more tracks, access the harmonize feature, there's undo, redo, some editing tools, and our playback controls, allowing us to loop sections of our mix. We can record automation, or we can also skip forwards or backwards to the next or previous transitions in the mix. On the right side of the toolbar, we can toggle solo to listen individually to one track or another. There's also a button to turn our metronome on and off, as well as control its volume. And finally, there's our keyboard shortcut cheat sheet. Along the bottom of the studio view, we have a selection of different tabs, and these tabs compartmentalize the powerful suite of features, controls, and effects you can use to create, customize, and enhance your mix. Through the DJ Studio Academy, we'll cover each of these tabs in detail with their own dedicated videos, and by the end, you'll be able to navigate them blindfolded. But for now, let's just take a look at their core functionality and what role they might play in your mixtape creation workflow. Currently, zoom is selected, which minimizes the tab section to give us the largest view of our decks and sample lanes, perfect for arranging and editing tracks and for adding precise manual effect automation. The playlist tab is a miniaturized version of the playlist view, helpful for quickly changing our song order or for quickly selecting and jumping to a song in a different part of the mix. The track tab shows us information about the currently selected song, as well as lets us make adjustments to its key, BPM, pitch shifting mode, and perhaps most importantly, its beat grid. When a song is imported from Rekordbox, DJ Studio will import and use that beat grid. Otherwise, DJ Studio will analyze and select whichever beat grid mode it thinks suits best. For modern electronic music with a steady tempo, the fixed beat grid is perfect. Otherwise, if the tempo drifts in time, such as is common with acoustic music or disco records, or if it has a deliberate shift in tempo, then DJ Studio may use one of the AI beat grid algorithms to detect and lock in that correct beat grid. Here's a song that changes tempo consistently throughout. Using the AI beat grid in the tempo lane, underneath the orange line, the gray line represents all the minor changes in tempo happening throughout the song. The result of this precise beat grid calculation means that we can mix other songs and samples over top of this song, as well as copy out and remix sections of it, and that beat grid will always be perfectly aligned with the song's original groove still intact. If you want to make adjustments to the beat grid, just simply zoom in until you see the beat grid lines appear. Now move your cursor over one of these lines and we can access the beat grid toolbar. Click and drag left or right on the center control to adjust the beat width. That's the timing of just this one individual beat. Clicking and dragging on the control next to this will simultaneously adjust this beat along with all of the beats following it for the rest of the song. We can also adjust the timing of the full grid, the timing of all the beats in the song at once, manually change the song's BPM, or we can reset any of the changes that we've just made to the beat grid. Finally, the beat grid toolbar also allows us to set our song's downbeat, the first beat of each bar, which you'll see colored red, or the first beat, which is the first downbeat of the song at the very beginning. With the beat grid corrected, DJ Studio remembers the adjustments that you've made. So anytime you mix this song from now on, the beat grid is pre-adjusted and ready to go. There's also the video tab, where you can transform your mix into a visual experience, either by mixing with MP4 music videos or by generating custom 3D beat synced visuals. In the effects tab, we get access to a powerful collection of controls to affect and refine the sounds of our tracks and samples. Of course, we can adjust volume as well as compression, panning, EQ, filters, and if that's not enough, you can also load and use your favorite third-party VST plugins, and that's on top of a suite of custom DJ Studio effects built specifically for mixing music. The Master tab shows us an overview of all the songs in our mix and any adjustments we've made to their volumes. This is super helpful if your mix contains a combination of modern music recorded and engineered to be as loud as possible, as well as older songs that might sound comparatively quiet and require a boost in volume. There's also a limiter to stop the mix from distorting, and of course we can again add our favorite third-party VST plugins for mastering as well. Next, there's the sample tab, and if you're just getting started with DJ Studio, this is probably empty. Not to worry though, because we can get the ball rolling with a free sample pack provided by LoopCloud. Click on the sample pack category and then download. And now you'll have access to a starter pack of sound effects to use in your mix. And of course, you can also click add to load in your own samples saved locally. Custom sound bites, radio show IDs, and DJ shoutouts. The Studio View is the main creative control center of DJ Studio, and it's where you'll find the tools you're going to need to design your perfect mix. Rest assured, we'll be diving into all of it in detail throughout the Academy. But before we do that, you might have noticed that we did skip one tab, and that's because we're saving the best for last. Click through to the next video and let's start crafting our transitions.